Matt Cain is the perfect choice for the Giants to get things back on track. Cain was a first-round pick in 2002, and now he's the horse of the Giants staff. Today, Cain faces another Giants first-round pick. Zach Wheeler was traded to the Mets 2 years ago, and now he's facing his former club. Cain, Wheeler, next.
Day baseball here at AT&T Park. Fans filing in. Should be a packed house as we get ready for the final game of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the homestand ends today. So you win today. You had a 2-4 homestand. That's not very good, but it's certainly better than 1-5. And what do you get? You get Matt Cain, the horse, on the hill, and that's a good thing.
Well, it is a good thing. And he had been rocking along, having a pretty solid last 6 weeks until his last outing against the Dodgers, of all people, who had knocked out in the third inning. And one thing that Cain has done his whole career is when he's had a rough start, he always gets back on that horse the next start and gives you a good start. So that's what he's hoping to do today. Taking on the young phenom, a former Giants prospect, Zach Wheeler. This should be a pretty entertaining game.
Giants have that secret weapon, though, in Kinsei Tanaka. And when we come back, Amy G is going to take a look at the night that Tanaka had last night. He had his first big league hit. He made a great play. She's going to take a look at all of that after this.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger. And by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
Giants getting ready for the finale of this 3-game set against the Mets, and they look to avoid being swept. And hey, it's a good day to rally. San Francisco taking on former Giants prospect Zach Wheeler. He's going to be on the hill for the Mets this afternoon. Welcome back to AT&T Park. I'm Amy Gutierrez. And the Giants simply trying to get all their parts working together. And they got a spark last night from one of their newest teammates, Kensuke Tanaka. He's our forward right choice this afternoon as we look back at him playing in left field, second inning. Marlon Byrd absolutely scalds the ball, but Kensuke gets it. He absolutely robbed him. We had to take a second look at that. And the team, they're pretty excited about it. So is he. What a smile. That was awesome. He also got it done at the plate. 5th inning off Dylan G. He records his first career major league hit. He told me Roberto Kelly told him something that needed no translation. Congratulations. Kensuke also told me that he's going to let his wife decide where that baseball should go. And it's important to note that he'd only played 9 games in left field with Fresno, but he'd been working every single day with former Giants outfielder Randy Wynn. He's got an incredible work ethic. All right, Matt Cain on the hill for the Giants this afternoon. Kruk and Kipe will be back with first pitch and lineups. But after these messages, we're going to check in with our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, so stay with us.
Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 61 degrees here at the yard. We have winds at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 78%. And we've got a good day for baseball. Take a look at Terry Collins' lineup, and it's brought to you by Coors Light. Pretty much the same cast of characters that we have seen in the first 2 games in this series. It'll be Young, Murphy, and the All-Star David Wright. His numbers are huge against Matt Cain. Ike Davis will be the cleanup hitter. Then it's Berg, Neuenhuis, Buck, Quintanilla will hit 8th, and Zach Wheeler will hit 9th. The Monday game wins 16 innings, 5 hours and 26 minutes. The Giants lost that one 4-3. And then the game last night got out of hand with a 5-run 8th inning, and the Giants lost 10-6.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the veteran Matt Cain, 3-time National League All-Star, making his 19th start of the year. The final game of this 3-game set, 5-4. Lifetime against the New York Mets this year through 18 starts, 5-5 with a 4.85 ERA, 102 strikeouts against 34 walks. When he's right, you'll see a low 90s fastball. He'll 2-4 seam. He'll cut the ball. He'll sink the ball. He'll throw a slider, a curveball, a changeup, give you all kinds of different movements. His outing against the Dodgers last Friday, he did not have the normal command that we've become so accustomed to seeing him have. So that'll be something we watch very closely today. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Matt Cain today. Starting in the Giants outfield from left to right, it'll be Kinsuke Tanaka, Gregor Blanco, Hunter Pence, that's your outfield. Brandon Crawford, Pablo Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Tony Abreu in at second base today. Marco Scudero getting a day off. Brandon Bell joins him on the right side. And Buster Posey will be in the squat putting down the signs.
So a win today, and the Giants will have a 2-4 homestand, which is certainly not very good, but at this point you'll take whatever you can get after going 1-4 in the first 5 games of this homestand. Giants would like to get a win to have a little bit of steam going into San Diego. I can think of about 25 reasons where the Giants would like to get a win today. So here's Eric Young. He will step in and lead things off against Matt Cain. Cain waiting patiently. In at third is Sandoval. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's high and wide. 12:46 first pitch. The 1-0 pitch is just outside. The home plate umpire is Todd Tickner. Buckner, Hamari, and Miller from first to third. And Cain drops in a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, the last couple of days, we've really seen big strike zones, and you're not going to get that type of a strike zone today. Tickner's strike zone much tighter.
Buster Posey will come back, and it'll be about 5 rows back behind the screen. It's 2-2.
Tickner is kind of a between the knees guy. I mean, you can set your targets out in the corners. If you put it between the knees of the catcher, you'll get it. If you sit in the outside corner and it comes across the inside corner, you won't get it. But you will see both low and high strikes. Kind of a rule book strike zone.
Urgency swing by Young on a breaking ball.
It's our ball babe today. Cole Muller. Comey Muller.
3-2. New baseball for Matt Cain. Murphy to follow, and then Wright. And the payoff coming up to the speedy Eric Young, and Young takes the walk. Walks hurt the Giants last night. So here's Murphy.
Cain not trying to be too cute with that last fastball, just trying to throw it right across the middle of the plate. And that was something that was off in his game last start against the Dodgers Friday night. He didn't have great command.
Young with 14 steals. So Cain now out of the stretch, and Murphy takes a strike. Young, by the way, in this series now has been on base 6 times. And I'd say that's pretty good if you're a leadoff hitter.
Well, if you have an on-base percentage of 350 and above, that's good. 375, that's outstanding. The 400 and above guys are Hall of Famers.
Crawford, Abreu at double play depth. Young goes. Buster Posey guns into center field. Young's going to get up. He's going to try to go. Here's Blanco's throw, and he's going to make it.
A pretty good jump. Posey throwing a ball away from Crawford, and as it gets into center field, an easy take a third of Speedy Young. So stolen base and an error on Posey, and just like that, the Mets have a runner at third base.
Two and one to Murphy. Murphy 2 for 9 lifetime against King. Drives this one into right center field, and Blanco will have to play it on one hop. Coming in to score is Young, and it's 1-0 New York. So here's David Wright.
It's amazing the demeanor that a team will have when they win the first 2 games of a 3-game series. I mean, they're as loose as can be. They're on house money when you're on the road.
Wright had a couple of hits last night. He was 2 for 3. Overall, the Giants out-hit the Mets last night. They had 13 hits. But the one hit was a grand slam off the bat of Marlon Byrd. Wright fouls it out of play. Big curveball is high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Matt Cain looking for that release point, and he's not there yet. Does not look comfortable. And David Wright has hurt Cain career-wise. See the numbers, .458 lifetime against Matt Cain.
This is going to be a flare that Abreu is going to track down. Nicely done. He spins and throws, and getting back is Murphy. Remember, there was also that night where Cain hit David Wright right in the head and knocked him out for a long time. Knocked him, was on the DL for over a month. This guy showed up to the park today with a little bit of an attitude. Doesn't look mean enough though.
Well, I guess give a few years.
Here's Ike Davis. Davis takes high. Davis at 171. 5 home runs, 18 driven in. Went 1 for 6 on Monday night.
He is a wheel and fire guy. He's looking to do one thing, and that's hit one in the McCovey Cove. He's got plenty of power, and he does have some happy zones, but you can pitch to him. He's got holes too.
In tight, 2-0.
You watch Davis, he sets his hands at the start of his batting stance, and then you'll see him swing his hands down low, almost to his belt, and then back up again. And it's a timing mechanism. But when you have that much hand movement, at times it's tough to get him back up and get him in position when you get that front foot going down. It's almost like the bigger the hits, the fewer speeds you can get time to. And for a pitcher that has the ability to give you 3 or 4 different speeds, that's a tough assignment. And watch his hands drop when he starts his swing.
(3-0) with Bird to follow. And strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Davis does have a lifetime home run off of Cain. He's 1 for 4. It comes in with, like, could have been a slider or a cutter, and it's 3-2.
All right, we have a winner. Foul ball sweepstakes.
He got dinged on the hand a little bit.
He's good.
Little sister wants it badly.
Mama's not cheering.
Well,
good chance you might see Daniel Murphy at first base go here, although you're betting on contact. And one thing about Ike Davis is he will strike out, so it's not a given that you're going to see him run 3-2 like you would with other hitters.
he gone. Popped out of play. Giants fan not paying attention on that pop-up. Nobody stood up. And just kind of hit behind a woman in a seat who was just watching the game.
Yeah, but the guy that brought his glove, he got it. We're good. Giants fan, Grateful Dead fan.
Runner goes. Swinging a bouncing ball. Foul.
All right, ugly finder, here we go. Heads up, boys.
Found like 8 guys.
All They're standing over there like the Vienna Boys Choir. Somebody's going to have to get out of the way.
3-2 to Ike Davis. Murphy getting a workout. He goes again, and it's ball 4.
So it has officially become a stress inning for Matt Cain. And he's facing a guy who last night, the first pitch he saw from Jake Dunning, did this. Boop, bases loaded, grand slam. And that was the icing on the cake. And the Giants could not recover. So you know Bird likes the first pitch, and now Haver Getty out there to talk to Matt Cain, and the first words out of his mouth are probably, "Are you all right?"
So here's Bird. Bird's got 0 for 8 history against Cain. He's had 4 hits in this series. One ball and no strikes.
Not much career success against King. 0 for 8, 3 strikeouts. Does have a walk though. Next pitch for Cain will be number 25 here in the first inning. Kickham is getting the call to go down there and start getting stretched out. And the cutter nails that outside corner. A little time in the bullpen at the big league level, you will learn how to get loose in fewer pitches than if you're a starter.
2-2.
He hit that target on the inside and he kicked that thing across on the outside. So there's really something in his mechanics that is affecting his command right now. I don't know how comfortable he is. But it's not the usual Matt Cain that we're accustomed to seeing.
And the 2-2 pitch.
A much needed strikeout of Martin Bird. And he just goes right through him with a no respect fastball. That's one that has a hitter talking to himself when he's walking back to the bench.
Yeah, because that's just about what you'd want to hit. Neuenhuis hitting .225, a couple of big flies, 12 RBIs. Jumps on this one, and he's going to have this one float.
Designer strike. Pretty. 0-1.
Neuenhuis has never faced Cain before. He went 1 for 5 on Monday and did not get into the game last night. A little in on your hands action after a long foul ball. Two balls and a strike.
30 pitches.
Murphy Murphy at second. Mike Davis at first. 2-2. Look at a guy that hits a ball that far and that foul. You almost have to believe that he's looking in. So Kane will go 3-2. Now Murphy and Davis will take off.
32 pitches for Kane, 25 of which have been thrown in the stretch position. First 7 he threw out of the windup too young. He walked. After that, it's been all stretch.
Runners go. Kane will face another hitter here in the first.
3 walks here in this inning. And really look down at the Giants dugout and see the concern on the face of Chris Bochy. He knows his big horse is not right. Tried to go outside, just missed by inches.
So here's John Buck.
And he is going to swing for the bleachers.
Yes, he is. He's got 14 home runs, 44 driven in. First pitch is high. 0 for 10 in his career against King. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike, and there's the challenge.
Now, Buck's a funny hitter. I mean, he's got holes, but like on that last pitch, you throw a fastball by him, you think you can do it again. You might throw another one by him. And that third time, he runs into it. And when he runs into it, he can hit it as far as anybody on this Mets team. Buster Posey wants to talk about it. A lot at stake right now. 35 pitches into this game.
One ball and 1 strike. Line drive center field. It's going to be a base hit. It's going to score 2. The throw to third is late, and it's 3-0. The buck comes through. And the hitter will be Quintanilla, and that's it for Matt King.
Well, there's got to be a problem.
So Kane is going to depart. And it's time for a change. Think Speedy oil change and tune-up is oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back.
Take a look at the numbers for Mike Kickham. 4 games, 0-3, ERA bloated. But look at the strikeout totals against the walks, and that's what you center on right now. The positive. The positive is he's got good stuff, averaging over a strikeout per inning. Fastball, it'll go low 90s. Curveball, slider, changeup.
Quintanilla takes down low, the 8th hitter to hit for the Mets here in the first inning. And that fastball is high. It's 2-0.
Shortest start of Matt Cain's career, just 36 pitches into it. So a little crossover step from Kickham, hides the ball a little bit longer. And that crossover will hide the ball to both righties and lefties.
And a good breaking ball, 2-2. Hunter Pence. 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 hits, 2 left. Giants are coming up. By Coors Light. It'll be Blanco, Tanaka, and then Buster Posey. His numbers against the Mets, very good. Sandoval, the cleanup hitter, then it's Pence, Belt, and Abreu. Crawford will hit 8th. Kickham will hit 9th.
On the hill today for the New York Mets, Zach Wheeler. And for Wheeler, he's 23 years old. This is what he has done in 4 starts, 2-1 with a 4.29 ERA, 16 strikeouts. 21 hits allowed, so basically 34 runners in 21 1/3. They say he's a little raw, but he's got great stuff. And you say, well, how great is it? How about mid to high 90 stuff? He will 2 and 4 seam the fastball. He's got the basic 4, a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he'll throw them all. Didn't have great command of all that stuff yet, so he is a little bit raw. They call him a diamond in the rough, but the fastball is enticing. When you could see a guy throw 98 miles an hour, you want to get him up here quickly. And for the Mets, this is their year to have this young right-hander come up and try and develop. 6'4", 185-pounder from Dallas, Georgia.
Now facing Gregor Blanco. Blanco hitting .277, a home run. 27 driven in. Blanco 2 for 5 last night. 1 for 8 on Monday. Both Harvey and Wheeler, you better turn it up a little bit.
I believe he's pretty pumped up. Giants made him the #1 pick. Just missed inside with a fastball, not by very much. Talk about the tight zone of Todd Tickler, and it is not anywhere near the corners that you've seen the last 2 strike zones in this series. Tight.
Blanco steps out, Tanaka, and then Posey. Got him.
Let's take a look at the defense the Mets will employ behind Zach Wheeler today. It'll be Young, Neuenhuis, and Bird. That's your outfield. Quintanilla right on the left side of the infield. Murphy and Davis on the right side, and John Buck will be in the squad, putting down the sign. Let's take a look at our Exmos brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. The motion of Wheeler, very upright, balanced there. Watch the hand come up high as that front foot drops. Gets out front and has kind of a Tim Lincecum sort of follow through with his back foot going high. Hip speed generates arm speed.
Tanaka takes a strike. Tanaka had his first hit in the major leagues last night. He went 1 for 4. Here he lifts this one into left center field. But Young will come in and put it away.
The America's Cup boats for Oracle are out practicing today. And that looks fast right there. That's like Batman fast.
Yeah, and they're not even moving.
And those things will go between 45 and 50 miles an hour, twice the speed of the wind.
Here's Posey hitting a .317. Pablo Sandoval is on deck. It's a 3-0 lead for the Mets. As he pops this one down the right field line, a souvenir. Two and two to Buster Posey. In play, Murphy. And Wheeler with a 1-2-3 first inning. Second inning coming up, 3-0 New York.
brought to you by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. GoPro, be a hero.
Well, after the All-Star break, the Reds will be in town on July 22nd, 23rd, 24th. It's a rematch of the National League Division Series. All three games, 7:15 starts. sfgiants.com. Here's Wheeler, who looks at a strike. He's 1 for 6 in the big leagues.
I think that's first win out of the way, first big league knock out of the way. Starting to settle in.
Bounces this one to Abreu, and that'll be out number 1. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, Dwayne, an update for fans on Santiago Casilla. Bruce Bochy saying today that he is ready to go and likely will be activated tomorrow in San Diego. And Marco Scudero just getting a day, fellows. Bruce Bochy said he wanted to get Posey and Marco a day off. He just didn't want to do it in the same game. So Posey got yesterday, and Scudero gets today. Gentlemen?
All right. Here's Young. Young led the ball game off with a walk. Here he takes a strike. Kane walked 3 in that first inning. 2 of the 3 scored. Oh, 2. I'm assuming Kickham and Wheeler were teammates at some point. Both young guys in the Giants organization at the same time. Whether they're at the same levels or not. Way outside, 2-2. Did I make you go to work? That's not fair.
Well, I was thinking about that too, but they did not cross paths.
Ooh.
Wheeler was just about a year ahead of Kickham. Just a bit outside. Tight zone.
That one was an easy call.
Well, we're going to find out how Kickham holds a base stealer on base now. All part of the things you have to be responsible for when you get up here.
Murphy takes a strike. He singled in the first inning and not going to run.
And there's the high strike that you will get from Tickner. If you had a choice as a pitcher, you'd rather have the pitch called a strike 4 inches off the plate than the belt high strikes.
Good pitch. Just inside at 88. It's 1-2.
Just about time for Eric Young to take off.
Got him.
A little crossover step really adds to the deception of the pitch that you see from Kickham.
And when Murphy swung at this, it almost looked like the pitch was 96.
Murphy is not an easy guy to strike out either. He makes good two-strike adjustments. So nice job there from Kickham. This will be an interesting matchup here.
Look out. That started to lean a little bit. The owners that Wright had against Kane in the first inning, but Kane got him to pop out. Out of play.
He's got such a slow lower body. It just puts him in great position to defend that strike zone. Stays inside the ball, knob lead. Very similar type swing to that of Buster Posey. Uses the whole field.
Down the right field line, it's going to slice foul. See, this though, Mike Kickham's pretty quick to the plate.
And for a tall guy, he is.
And he's got a really, almost looks like a natural slide step.
And it doesn't look like Eric Young has got any close to good timing at first base, trying to get a good jump. Because he's a guy that likes to go. He likes to go early in the count too.
I always say, if you get a little on your nose, it's been good.
He has no fear. That little dab on the nose, and that would kill me. That'd drive me crazy. That guy, not a problem.
2-2.
Kickham's not as quick as Kirk Reeder used to be. This guy is wearing it out, and he's not sharing with his little sister, I've noticed.
Little sister's going to get the piece of paper. See, that time he raised his leg, and he was a little slower to the plate.
And that was still quicker than average.
Two and two. And he got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning and a walk. It'll be the Panda to lead things off.
Sonoma Raceway. The NHRA Sonoma Nationals at Sonoma Raceway, July 26th through 28th. For tickets, go to racesonoma.com.
3-0 New York. It'll be Sandoval, then Pence, then Belt, and then Abreu. Very high, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yep. I love that finger.
Look out. That goes flying. Sandoval at 258. He's got 8 home runs, 39 driven in.
Yeah, 258. It just doesn't look right next to his name.
It does not. Three and 1 to the Panda.
Hunter Pence chalking up.
And the walk.
And that's not easy to do. Walk the Panda.
Especially after you go 0-1. So here's Pence. Pence at 267. Here he takes a strike. Belt is on deck. Maybe a little high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1. If you just joined us, Matt Cain left the first inning or was taken out after allowing 3 runs. And his coach came and got him. 2 and 1. Three balls and 1 strike. Well, if Wheeler is going to hand out some gifts, the Giants should be willing to take them.
Yeah, it also provides a pretty good opportunity to let out some shafts right here for Hunter Pence. Look for one thing. And there it was.
Out of play. Mets will travel to Pittsburgh. It seems like that would be an odd destination for your next game. They do have a day off tomorrow.
Yeah, they had kind of a weird road trip.
Got him.
They went to Milwaukee, then out to San Francisco, then to Pittsburgh. That's how they close out the first half, with an off day in Pittsburgh.
Giants had an off day in Pittsburgh. Maybe it's the destination now for off days for teams. Here's Belt. Belt hitting .257. Fouls it back. Abreu to follow. Sandoval with his lead at first. And Belt with a half swing. That's Steve.
Steve Gatto, one of our illustrious grounds crew members. Enjoying the game today. Also, a Cal Poly Mustang. Both these guys are a couple grounds crew guys. Enjoying the game.
They will get an ugly finder today. Belt is gone. They might get 2 or 3 ugly finders.
That's a given.
So here's Abreu. Abreu hitting at .327, a home run, 6 RBIs. Shallow left field for Young, and that'll end the inning. So a leadoff walk, and then the Giants go quietly after that. And now we will head to the third. It's 3-0 New York.
Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Well, the Stars align for the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game as the best of the American League take on the best from the National League. And don't miss the action Tuesday, July 16th at 4:30 Pacific Time. So check your local listings.
Here's Ike Davis. I just checked the schedule, Mike.
Yeah?
Swing and a miss. You'll be getting into San Diego tomorrow.
That is correct.
We'll be getting in with the team tonight. Maybe do a little scouting on the Padres.
Well, I think you should.
We're going to be playing the Rockies tonight. Or maybe do a couple of practice innings.
A couple practice innings, sit up in the bleachers. I think you should do that.
Of the 2 guys, John or Dave, who most likely would, as Buster Posey gets dinged, who most likely would maybe agree to do 2 innings with me, practice-wise?
John would do 9.
Really?
Absolutely. Watch the knee, off the left knee. Of all the padding that the catcher has, that's the area where he has the most padding, and it's the area where it does the least.
3 strikeouts in a row for Kickham. And here's Bird. Well, I'm going to check the pitching matchup. That could be the deal breaker whether I go tonight or not.
Yeah?
All right. How about
whoever throws tonight for the Padres will not see the Giants in the 4-game series. So who we got?
De La Rosa, Cashner.
So Andrew Cashner.
I'm going.
That's a good one, man.
As Bird goes around. You know what? I'll call you with updates.
I would like that.
Out of play, so kick him on a pretty good rhythm.
You know, and traditionally that's how young pitchers were brought up to the big leagues. They didn't go right into rotation. They went into the bullpen, and they would come out in long relief situations, and that's how they would build their arm strength up, and that's how they would climb the ladder into the rotation.
Got him. 4 in a row. And here's Neuenhuis.
And this pretty good breaking ball right here. Impressed Marlon Byrd. Second strikeout of the day for Byrd. Kane got him in the first inning. On a fastball, he blew right through him.
Neuenhuis drew a walk in the first. No balls and 1 strike.
Well, you're right about the rhythm. Kick him, he's locked into a nice one. Easy flow.
Popped up. Crawford moving out. Crawford waiting. Side retired. For the Giants, Crawford, Kickham, and Blanco coming up.
In 1984, the 55th All-Star Game is held at Candlestick Park in Montreal's Gary Carter earns the MVP honors when he hits a go-ahead solo shot in the bottom of the second inning of the National League's 3-1 win. Chili Davis, Bob Brimley are San Francisco's representatives, and Giants legend Carl Hubbell throws out the first pitch. It was the 50th anniversary, July 10, 1934, of Hubbell striking out 5 Hall of Famers in a row in that year's All-Star Game at the Polo Grounds. Hubbell struck out Ruth, Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin.
And the Giants representatives, Chili Davis and Bob Brimley. Here's Crawford. Crawford takes a strike, getting 267.
Now, there's a lot of festivities around the All-Star Game that you're privileged to go to as a player. You can go to all of them, you go to none of them, or whatever you want to do. There's galas, and there's dinners, and there's breakfasts. And when Brimley got back from the '84 All-Star game. I said, "What'd you go to?" He said, "I went to everything. I figured this is probably going to be my only shot to go to an All-Star game. I'm not missing anything." It was great.
Crawford on the ground to Quintanilla. His throw is in time.
I got to go to one All-Star game. It was in Houston, Texas. We played in the Astrodome that year. Dwight Gooden opened it up for us. He was the starting pitcher for the National League squad. Roger Clemens from Houston was opening it up in a Red Sox uniform for the American League. And that's the hardest I've ever seen anybody throw in my life, was what Clemens did that night in the All-Star game.
Here's Kickham, who's 1 for 3.
Our first two hitters up for the National League team were Tony Gwynn and Ryan Sandberg, and those pretty good fastball hitters right there. And he torched them, struck them both out on fastballs. And Tony Gwynn came back to the dugout and said, "Tune it up."
Yeah, hope he only goes 2.
He was the MVP.
Kickham with a high pop-up. Looks like it's playable. 2 outs.
Go back to 1934. Carl Hubble, King Carl, had a great screwball. And Ruth, Ruth in that order. Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, Joe Cronin. There was Ruth going down. And then the Iron Horse grabs some fine meat. Jimmy Fox, see ya. Al Simmons, Joe Cronin.
Look at this sling. Yo! I don't want to face that guy.
Oh, you'd have raked him. He was dookie. Grab some pints, meat. That's right. Set it up. That's my cousin, John Ryan, owner of the Sweet Spot up in Santa Rosa. Glad to see him in town, enjoying a ball game.
You pay?
At the Sweet Spot?
Yeah.
I get one free one every 7 I have. That's how it works.
What, 7.5 years?
No, it's the family deal.
2-1 to Blanco, who struck out. Blanco drives one right center field. On the move is Bird, and Bird will put it away, and that'll end the inning. Not in this part, folks. 4th inning coming up. It's 3-0 New York.
Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's endless summers. Waves of cash every day. Visit cashcreek.com for details.
3-0 New York. It's been that way since the first inning. John Buck did some damage that inning. He got a 2-out base hit off of Kane to knock in a pair of runs, and that was the last hitter that Matt Kane faced.
Good pitch. He's got a little shoot fire rock going right now. Good rhythm. I see a lot of guys with crossover steps like to throw off that third base side of the rubber rather. Kick him, no exception.
Blanco playing Buck perfectly, 1 out.
All right, time now for our AT&T trivia question. If you think you know the answer, tweet it to CSN Giants. The question today: who was the first player to represent the Mets at an All-Star game? This year the Mets are going to have David Wright and Matt Harvey represent. And that is always going to be a thrill when you are making an All-Star team in your home park.
In tight to Quintanilla, who hit a fly ball to right field. He's the first hitter that Kickham faced in this game.
And he's missing. He's not missing by much.
Wheeler is on deck. Wheeler has not a hit in this game. And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now, what you hope for when you bring a guy up to the big leagues out of the minor leagues is that they get confidence quickly.
Two and two.
Because that is 90% of it. And first of all, you have to have ability to get here. But then you have to believe that you can play here. And that takes success up here. You think about first 3 appearances for Kickham. I mean, it wasn't easy. Oakland, LA, Cincinnati, all on the road. And those are 3 tough places to win for a 10-year veteran. Finally hit the comfort zone here, and once he got back in the friendly confines of AT&T.
So 1 out walk. And that'll bring up Wheeler. Kickham walked Eric Young in the second inning. Didn't hurt him. There's the bunt. Kickham to a Brady. So it goes 1-4 on the first pitch. And that'll bring up Young. One final in the National League. The Marlins beat the Braves today 6-2. Giants saw firsthand Jacob Turner when he pitched against the Giants for the Marlins, and he beat Atlanta today. Young takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Outside again. It's 2-0. For whatever reason, both Kane and Kickham having a hard time throwing strikes to this guy.
2 walks in the books already today, and now he's sitting on a 2-0 count.
a strike at 91. It's 2-1. Abreu, belt, and the Giants get Young to put it in play, and they retire him on a ground ball. Tanaka, Posey, Sandoval coming up.
He was the Giants' first-round draft pick back in 2003. He only played a month of A-ball and then was called up in 2004. Dwayne and Mike, I spent some time with him. He said it was an incredible team to play with. Can't imagine spending a better rookie year than with San Francisco. Of course, Barry Bonds was on that team. He said he does remember carrying a My Little Pony backpack. And gentlemen, he has a message for you. He says he still remembers the special handshake and passes it on. Hopefully that means something to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, he does.
It's a great shot of his parents in Houston watching Arzma make his debut.
And he did learn the secret giant handshake.
Here's Tanaka, who bluffs a bunt, and he takes a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Tanaka hit a fly ball to left field. Giants have had 1 base runner. Sandoval walked. Arzma got the win in that debut. And Tanaka again shows bunt, and this time he takes a strike. So now it's 1-2. David Wright can move back at third. So can Davis at first.
There's David Arzma.
He had more hair then. Tanaka rolls this one to second. Tanaka retired.
All right, time now to ask and answer our AT&T trivia question. The question today: who was the first player to represent the Mets in an All-Star game? Are you sure that's it? Richie Ashburn did it July 30th, 1962. Second of 2 All-Star games held that season. That's back when we used to play 2 All-Star games. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, that was not my choice. I was going to say Don Clendenin.
Could have been Roger Craig.
Yeah. The year he lost, what, 23?
And you know what his response was? You had to be pretty good to keep getting the ball and lose 23. Hey, Dwight Gooden's here.
Off-speed pitch high to Posey, who popped out to Murphy in the first inning. Posey up the middle. Quintanilla will spin and throw, and he got him. So a nice play by Quintanilla.
We've watched this guy in highlights at night. And you see Quintanilla's name come a lot, especially when he's having balls hit to his left. Tremendous range. And I had this thing in the books as a base hit. But I mean, that's pretty violent. The way he's going across the field and 360s. I mean, that's such an incredible play. And look at the strike right to Ike Davis on the money.
The accuracy is pretty amazing. Here's Sandoval. Sandoval sees the breaking ball, and it's a strike.
Giants still looking for their first hit against Zach Wheeler.
Two and one to the Panda with Pence on deck. Two and two.
Change up. You know you have a good fastball if you're throwing 88-mile-an-hour changeup.
Well, Harvey was doing the same thing. Sandoval into right center field and a base hit. Well, the Giants their first hit. And that'll bring to the plate Hunter Pence.
The fastball right to the outside corner. Good job of staying down through the swing. Broke his bat on it, his out towards the end of the bat, but hey, he finds a hole. Sometimes the hardest hit to get is the first one. Giants found that out in Cincinnati firsthand.
Yeah, we were there. Pence on the first pitch. Quintanilla, side retired. Giants with their first hit will head to the fifth. It stays 3-0 New York.
Team's recent performance. It seems like all the hard work is spitting in our face. We don't know what else to do but work hard, but it doesn't seem to be getting us anywhere. All around, we stink, to be honest with you. I really stink. Well, keep working hard, things will get better. That's our Geico quote of the day.
Here's Murphy. Murphy takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, the Millers are here.
That's usually a pretty good group to party with, the Millers. We occasionally get to party with one on the road all the time.
Yeah, that's true. John.
Talk about a party animal.
Oh boy, me and him wound up, let me tell you.
Fastball high, 1-2.
I mean, he's a partying fool if you want to play Stratomatic. Then you're in for the time of your life.
Got him.
Strikeout number 5 for Mike Kickham. There's the first called strike through.
I'm not sure Daniel Murphy was into this one too much.
We watched the motion from the third base side of the rubber. A little crossover step. Elbow in a nice high position. And kind of a little bit lower than straightaway 3/4. Kind of right there between the slot between low 3/4 and 3/4. But he's throwing with a lot of confidence right now. Most confidence he's had since he's been up here.
David Wright struck out in the second. And a good pitch from Kickham, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. On the ground, Crawford has this one jump on him. Recovers and throws out right.
No panic.
Yep, coming pretty quick on a dry infield.
Crawford's right in the middle of a streak right now where everything's coming up hard on him, and he's not getting a lot of normal bounces. But let your hands separate, go to the bare hand. And it always helps to have a cannon for an arm. And he shoots down right. And Wright's not, I mean, he's better than average runner.
Here's Davis, who takes wide. Davis walked in the first and scored, struck out in the third. This will be a long run for Tanaka, and he is going to slide, and it's going to be, it could hit the top of that sidewall. A nice effort by Tanaka.
You know, that's how you do it to protect yourself. Plus, it looks pretty. And every once in a while, you'll catch one. I mean, he's a very stylish player. He does a lot of things pretty.
Two ladies had much of a chance of catching him. Out of play, 1-2. All right, the big fella got it.
Just wants a little applause. All right. Friendly game of catch up there in the stands.
Davis strokes one to right, and Pence will have to back off. It's a 2-out base hit, and the first hit that Kickham is allowed. So Kickham with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts, and now 1 hit.
Well, even the base hit, he took his lower legs out. That was just kind of an all-hands hack.
Bird has struck out twice. Kane got him, and then Kickham got him in the 3rd inning. Hit well into right center field. Blanco is going to look up, and it is off the top of the wall. And now they're saying it's gone. So Bird hits one into right center field. And off the crack of the bat, I didn't think that had any chance of going.
None. Absolutely none. That is surprising. That's a lot of carry to center field. More than we normally see. Show some 2-out thunder, and let's watch it. Fastball out over the plate. And Marlon Byrd, for the second time this series, goes yard. Yep, no doubt. Home run. The guy on the other side gets hit right in the boiler.
So here's Neuenhuis, who walked and popped out.
That's what I'm going to blame on. I can't put that on good on for way too long.
And that pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Karam shot off the chest. Oh.
Yep, isn't that kind of a day?
1-2.
Well, he's got a nice welt, though. Take that home with him. Wait around after the game. I'll sign it. What do you think?
Absolutely. Out of play. Nice, stays alive. Well, you saw the swing by Bird. You can tell he did hit it good. But there's an area out there where it just all of a sudden dies. Two and two. 66 pitches now for Mike Kickham. In tight, 3-2.
Now 67 pitches is really not anything he can't handle. He should have 100 pitches in his arm.
Bounce foul.
Tom Goodwin.
Former Giant.
And a good one. That goes without saying, right?
He's a good one. Pulled to Belt. Belt will slide over to the bag, and that'll end the inning. But damage done on the Bird home run, all after 2 outs. 5-0 Mets. Final National League All-Stars. Send Hunter Pence to the All-Star game in New York. And here's how you do it. You go to your mobile device, text N4 to 89269.
Voting is tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time, and also vote for Tigers at Joaquin Benoit.
5-0 New York.
Little activity in the Cove today.
Here's Belt. Belt rolls one foul.
Oh, lefty. Ken Walling could have been somebody. All right, I got this one. I got the.
His stirrups are crooked. No wonder.
You have no chance if you have crooked stirrups. None.
That's the first thing you check when you leave the clubhouse. How do my stirrups look? Well, now, unless you're Josh Outman, there are no stirrups.
It's Kobe Muller. She's our ball babe on the other side today.
Down low to Belt.
Pretty good curveball right there, and he does a lot of things well. And throwing that curveball with that big straight down bite, an 0-2, 1-2 count, especially the lefties, almost like to say to yourself, I'm going to bounce this on home plate. If your breaking ball is big, like his is, you'll get a lot of guys to fish for that one.
Belt trying to reach. Jones trying to get a base runner or two. And Belt's going to stay alive as he bounces that one off of John's butt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2. And the pitch, and Belt pops this one down the left field line. It'll be a long run for Young, and it's going to hit the mound.
Lots of enthusiasm out there by the slide. Oh, yeah. See, that's one thing we need to do. We need to go down the slide.
Yeah. Good game from the slide. And Belt's going to take the walk, and that's a rally for the Giants. And Abreu will hit.
Oh, yeah. One slider at a time. Oh, yeah. She almost violated the rule.
Abreu hit a fly ball to left. He takes the strike. Oh, and 2. George Contos headed down to the bullpen. And that'll be a souvenir down the left field line. Madison Bumgarner tomorrow night.
He's been throwing great.
He's an all-star. A couple of guys with 9 wins pitching tomorrow. Abreu's gone. 4th strikeout for Wheeler. Here's Crawford. You get both going in opposite directions.
That's big. That's a big shift right there.
A lot of activity going on.
A little quieter in the Cove.
Crawford bounced out to short. Skies this one into center field. And Neuenheiser put it away. So 2 outs. And Kickham is going to hit.
I mean, really, there haven't been many hard-hit balls at all against Zach Wheeler. Even the only base hit that he's given up, the 2-out single to Sandoval in the 4th, was off the end of the bat. It broke his bat.
Pickham popped out to Quintanilla in the 3rd inning. Fouls this one back, so it's a quick 0-2. Dodgers and D-backs again tonight. As I mentioned earlier, San Diego and Colorado tonight. Giants will get into San Diego just about the time that game will start. Outside and low, 1-2. Two and two.
Gorgeous day. Only thing missing are a few runs. Giants just cannot get the crowd into this game with the bats.
Pitch number 69. And this is driven to right. And it's going to be caught by Marlon Byrd to end the inning. A nice diving catch to end it. And we will head to the 6th. Here is 5-0 New York. Started. Donald's true stories in this date in Giants history. Doesn't seem that long ago, but Jonathan Sanchez in 2009 tosses the 5th no-hitter in San Francisco Giants history and the first in nearly 33 years. Sanchez, with Eli Whiteside catching, walked none, struck out 11. And the Giants won that night 8-0. The only base runner was Chase Headley, reached on an error by Juan Uribe in the 8th. So here's John Buck facing Kickham, and Buck takes a pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Buck, his 2-out single in the first inning really hurt Matt Cain.
Wow. Is that gorgeous or what?
They're getting after it.
Yeah, they're the favorites. Defending champions.
Buck lines this one to Blanco, and it's going to sail over his head. And Buck's got his 2nd hit, and that's a double.
The U.S. team, Team Oracle, Jimmy Spittle, the captain. That is an engineering marvel right there. "72-foot high cells, 11-man crews. Can't wait."
Quintanilla is 0 for 1. Taps this one foul.
Strikeout situation here for Kickham. Runner at second, nobody out. Got a left-hander up there. Quintanilla, not an easy guy to strike out either. I mean, he defends that strike zone pretty well, especially with 2 strikes.
A little low.
Good pitch. He's made a lot of nice pitches that he hasn't gotten. We mentioned earlier that strike zone day a little tight.
Taps this one foul. Belt will glove it in foul territory, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Buck at second. Way outside, 2-2. 3 in the first for the Mets. Matt Cain departed. Kickham got the last out, and he's been in there ever since. Said it last night. Quintanilla, guy who likes that ball up.
Yeah, and that's his strength. Like the old saying, he puts the tall guys up and the little guys down, meaning the tall guys are going to hit the ball low and the little guys are going to hit the ball high. And Quintanilla is a little guy that definitely hits the ball high. So he is true to the natural scouting report.
And a full count. There's Wheeler on deck. And he got him. Good pitch.
Big strikeout there. Matt Cain, the first inning. never really looked like he was comfortable. A couple of walks. And with 1 run in, it was John Buck that delivered the blow with the bases loaded. It knocked in a pair. And with 3 runs in and 2 outs, King was relieved by Mike Kickham.
Wheeler slams one into center field, and Blanco is not going to get this one either. Wheeler takes a weird turn at first. Coming in to score is Buck, and Wheeler's got a double and his first major league RBI.
And the Giants jammed him in the outfield. They brought Gregor Blanco in very shallow. And you can see just where he was playing. If he had been playing normal depth, he would have caught that ball. So Wheeler hitting away from the defense. And with that swing of the bat, Dave Righetti coming out. Take a little time and allow George Contos a chance to get loose in the Giants bullpen. And the wheels are coming off.
Well, I'll say this, the ball is carrying more towards center field than we've seen it here in a long time.
Yeah, it really has today. Certainly more than at any time in this homestand. July and August are the windiest months at this ballpark.
So here's the pitch to Young, and a big swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Young has walked twice and he's bounced out. A run in, a runner in scoring position, and the 0-1 pitch to Young, and Young takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Mets. No runs on 1 hit for the Giants. The pitch to Young, and Young bounces this one to Crawford. Crawford hurries his throw to get Young on the play. Wheeler moves to third.
Crawford had an idea to go to third base. Took a look over it. He can't look too long with Young. He's got way above average speed.
So here's Murphy. Murphy knocked in a run in the first, and then after that, Kickham has struck him out both times. First pitch is lined down the left field line, fair. Wheeler's going to come in to score. Trotting into second is Murphy with a double, and it's now 7-0.
3 doubles this inning off of Kickham.
So Wheeler, one of those 3 doubles, and here's David Wright. Wright is 0 for 3. And now they're going to walk David Wright intentionally. And that'll bring to the plate Ike Davis. Davis has scored twice. He's 1 for 2. So the Giants trying to get out of this inning. 3 in the first, 2 in the 5th, and 2 runs here in the 6th equals 7. To the Giants, nothing and only 1 hit. So Mets runners at first and second. Lefty against lefty. And a bouncing ball foul. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Mets come into this game having won 3 straight. Giants going in the other direction. They've lost 3 straight.
Davis trying to get untracked this season. Has not happened for him. At $174. Got sent out earlier.
Way outside and low. A ball and a strike.
Davis last year had 32 home runs, 90 RBIs.
Pickham throws. And that's cued off the end of the bat. Foul. 1 and 2. So Pickham, who comes in relief. I don't see too many relievers that throw 91 pitches. But it happens when your starter gets knocked out in the first inning. Outside.
Big pitch here for Pickham. Finish strong.
Outside and low, 3 and 2. Payoff pitch. Hit on the ground to Belt. Belt has this one in and out of his glove, but Pickham just there to end the inning. 2 runs on 3 doubles. It's 7-0 New York.
But off the field, they're very good friends, and I'm talking about Bruce Bochy and the Mets bench coach Bob Guerin. Bob actually played for Bochy in 1993. Bob was with the San Diego Padres, and Bruce Bochy was the third base coach. Now, Bochy told me Bob missed a sign. I talked to Bob. He said, I sure did. It's the only sign he'd ever missed in his career. It was for a suicide squeeze. All is forgiven. The two stay in touch. Very good friendship between those two gentlemen. Dwayne?
Well, thank you, Aim of the Gamer. This is a very small world here at the big league level, and you are going to cross paths with just about everybody who has played this great game. So right now, the Giants looking for some offense. Gregor Blanco so far 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Going to try and crank things up here. Giants need to make something happen here, down 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
And the pitch to Blanco is a called strike. Blanco is struck out and flied out. Bounces this one to the second baseman Murphy.
Well, Monday, July 22nd is Breast Cancer Awareness Night at AT&T Park. Your special event package will include a ticket to the game versus the Reds and a collector edition bobblehead of Giants alumni Jeffrey Hackman Leonard, a great supporter of the cause. For tickets, go to sfgiants.com/special events. And remember, you need to purchase a special event ticket to receive the Jeffrey Leonard bobblehead. Hackman.
Here's Tanaka. Tanaka shoots one into left field, a base hit.
You'll see him throw that a lot of balls to left field. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Really a classic style. You'll see a lot of players coming out of the Japanese leagues with a very similar style. Very flat swing. Head stays down. Think the opposite way. Let that ball ride, get deep into you. That's a swing built for contact right there.
A low ball hitter.
And a high ball drinker.
Here's Posey. Outside and low. Two and 0. Posey had a hit taken away from him by Quintanilla in the fourth inning. Three and 0. So you get back into this game with a couple of base runners and then a big fly.
75 pitches on the day for Wheeler. See the way the Mets play Posey. A lot of teams play Posey pretty much the same way the Mets are in the outfield. They give him the lines and they bunch the gaps. And they bunch the right center field side. So I figure that's his tendency to hit the ball that way.
Hit out of my kitchen at 92. He's pretty quick inside.
Well, you get an idea just how quick Posey is on that particular swing because that ball took off on him. I'm not sure if he misses that, he might have gotten hit in the back hip or something.
Should be playable for Davis. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Sandoval. Sandoval is 1 for 1. A walk in the second, a single in the fourth. Quick toss and Tanaka is back.
Mentioned talking about Tanaka's game last night. He is a base stealer, had 20 steals down at Fresno, but they're down 7-0. That's not really a steal opportunity.
Tanaka's going to take off, so he'll be at second base on the wild pitch.
However, if they're going to throw a wild pitch, take second. Thanks for the gift.
outside, 2-0.
Sandoval has had the best day of any Giant today. A walk and a knock. Just 2 hits allowed through 5 2/3 from Wheeler.
Young. And Young going full speed over the mound makes the running catch to end the inning. Nice play by the Mets left fielder. 7-0 New York. It's been the Zach Wheeler show today. Not only does he have an RBI, he's got a double, but he's pitched extremely well. Matt Cain left in the first inning. Birds had another home run, and Sandoval and Tanaka with base hits. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts, and it's George Contos. Contos, who pitched and got the loss on Monday, he actually pitched very well. He went 2 2/3. A lot of hit and unearned run. No walks and 2 strikeouts. So he will pitch here in the 7th in a game where the Mets have led since the very first inning, and they lead in this one now 7-0. So Bird will be the leadoff hitter. Bird hit a 2-run home run off of Kickham in his last at bat. And here he takes a strike at the knees. Nieuwenhuis and John Buck to follow Marlon Bird. 7th inning in front of a packed house. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Seven runs on 7 hits. So the Mets, no runs on 2 hits for the Giants. And that slider low and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You talked about being able to work on a few things in certain types of games, and this is one of those types of games for George Contos, who at times really has become a 2-pitch guy, and when he wants to get a guy out, a lot of times he's a 1-pitch guy because of that great slider right there. And it is a great slider. But you can make that slider look so much better if you can give a hitter another couple types of movement with the fastball, or have another speed with the changeup, or pitch on both sides of the plate and occasionally bust somebody back. When you have a breaking ball like Cantos. It's going to fall away from a right-handed hitter. And moving a guy off the plate, moving his feet is not a bad pitch to set that slider up.
And he gets Bird on a high fastball. That's the hat trick for Marlon Bird.
But he's a 1 for 4, 3 strikeouts and a home run. Who wins the day?
Yep. So here's Neuenhuis. He's walked, he's popped out, he's bounced out. And that fastball is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Kane, Kickham, Cantos. And the pitch is a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now when he's throwing that slider well, he'll spot it on both sides of the plate like he's doing today. Got a nice feel for the pitch. Sliders are temperamental. The more sliders you throw, they tend to get a bit diluted. Say you throw 5 in a row, those first 2 may be some great ones, but those last 3, they can get a little mediocre. It is the pitch that requires the most strength for a pitcher to throw.
Three and one.
And it is a pitch that is hard on your elbow.
Well, when you and I played, everybody had a slider.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody had a changeup. Now it's just the other way around. You and I better put the shin guard back on, or at least stay away from it, because that was a called strike.
All right, let's take a look.
All right. I got to get rid of the shin guard. Time for me to go.
Wait, strike 2. He was not overly enthusiastic about that.
The point is it wasn't a strike. And he just got a piece.
I would like to see a game sometime where there would be no umpire, but 1 inning the pitchers would call the strikes, and then 1 inning the hitters would call the strikes.
I'll take that game off.
I think it would be entertaining.
Belt. 2 outs.
Well, check out Yahoo Sports Talk Live, presented by Farmers, hosted by Jim Cosmore today, 5 o'clock right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. You all know Jim Cosmore. He hosts the best Bay Area talk show. That's right. And now it's combined with America's #1 sports website. So, Sharks, GM Doug Wilson, he's there. KMBR 680's Kate Scott, a gamer babe, she's there. And Yahoo correspondent Melanie Collins will be there as well. All great conversationalists. You will be entertained, so check it out.
Here's John Buck. And Buck taps this one foul. Buck's got a couple of hits. He's knocked in a pair. He scored a run.
I used to work at a pizza parlor. Played the piano.
I'm thinking that he's holding that ice cream for somebody else.
I think he's saving it for the banjo player.
Because otherwise, wouldn't you be digging in by now?
Half gone. You know me and ice cream. It's not a good mix.
Very high, 1 and 2.
That's why I could never be a spy. I have my hands tied behind my back, sitting down at the interrogation table. They just have bowl of ice cream, a little caramel sauce on it, and I'd have to tell you everything I know. that would not qualify for the CIA.
Hit out to right for Pence, and Pence will make the running check. All right, now I can go eat. He's only allowed 2 hits. It's 7-0 New York.
Well, a reminder, next homestand, the Giants are going to be taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks over a weekend series, the 19th to the 21st of July. And that 19th Friday night game, it's Orange Friday, 7:15 start. Saturday, July 20th, 6:05 start. The first 20,000 fans receive Giant headphones, courtesy of freecreditscore.com. And Sunday, July 21st, 1:05 start. For tickets, go to sfgiants.com.
So here's Pence. Pence is 0 for 2. And he pops his first pitch up. Quintanilla makes the catch. 1 out on 1 pitch. And here's Belt. Belt is struck out and walked. Belt sitting on a fastball, swung and missed. No balls and 1 strike.
That's a quality changeup right there. And you have to be impressed with the consistency of the stuff that Wheeler has shown. 84 pitches, 55 strikes. Said it was an issue, command of those great pitches. But it really hasn't been the case today. And you can imagine that in his mind, this has really sort of been like 7th game of the World Series, pitching against the team that drafted him.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Belt. And it's high, 3-2. So Belt goes 0-2 to 3-2. Well, join us tomorrow in San Diego. We mentioned that Madison Bumgarner will be on the hill. Pre-game live will start at 6:30, and we'll start the ball game right at the top of the hour at 7. It is the final series before the All-Star break, so check out the Giants and the Padres. 3 of the 4 games will be on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. The Saturday game will be on NBC Bay Area, and there's Madison Bumgarner. And there's a ground ball to Murphy. Murphy from the outfield grass throws out Abreu. 2 outs.
Nice play.
You got to get a little bit more on it to get it into that hole.
Giants have got 2 runners in scoring position today. Give you a chance to show the defensive brilliance of Daniel Murphy. Nice off balance throw, a strike over to Davis.
So Crawford at the plate, and he takes low. 1 ball and no strike.
Another changeup, did not miss by much. As you see, Jeremy Affeldt starting to get up and stretch now. Type ball game where he could get a couple of things worked on.
One ball and 1 strike. Blocked by Buck. 2 balls and a strike. Wheeler inching close to the 100 pitch mark. He's at 92. Two and 2. Nick Noonan waits on deck. And Crawford, like he was trying to drive that one to left field, fouls it off the backstop.
Yeah, that's a pretty good play right there from his perspective. Going out there, and that pitch was almost perfect location-wise. A 2-2 slider going on the backside of the strike zone. The fact that he fought that off to live to see another day, that's a job well done.
Base hit up the middle. So Belt is going to come in and score. And the Giants are on the board.
And finally, something for these fans to cheer about. Just a fastball right at the belt out of the middle of the zone, which is the easiest area to defend in 2 strike situations. Well, it would be the area between the letters on my chest and my belt, and that's exactly what he got. He went right back up the middle the way he caught. Nice 2-strike at bat.
Here's Noonan. Noonan takes low. Noonan had a base hit last night. Noonan came in as a pinch hitter. Fouls it back. 2 balls and a strike. chase that one. It's 2-2. Lots of activity now in the New York Mets bullpen.
It's like Troy Hawkins is getting up with Josh Edgin. Hawkins the right-hander, Edgin the lefty.
Newman is going to shoot this one right over the two guys we were talking about.
Nice play. Just take a look at the backhander. Beautiful.
And to a kid. A nice play.
Good fan right there. Gets it. Plus he can play a little bit.
That'll do it. As Noonan looks at the breaking ball to end the inning. Giants on the board. 8th inning coming up.
To enhance your game coverage, we have got you covered. Just log on to csnberry.com. Click on Giants In-Game Live. It's presented by Eric's Deli Cafe. You can get up to the second box scores, in-depth stats, and chat with your other fan friends. Giants In-Game Live, presented by Eric's Deli Cafe, and it is only at csnberry.com. Dwayne.
All right, thanks, Amy. It's 7-1 New York. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert.
Jeremy Affeldt, 36th time that he's come into a ball game, and an opportunity for him to work out a few problems that he's had with the consistency of his release point. We've seen Affeldt recently hit 93, 94 miles per hour with velocity. I mean, you're not going to hit that type of velocity if you're not close to a pretty good release point. I mean, you have to have a crack in the whip if you could imagine your arm being a whip. It has to be being pretty close to perfect to hit that velocity. And we've seen some incredible curveballs, but what we haven't seen is the consistency. 3 good pitches, 2 bad pitches. 4 good ones, 1 bad one. And for a relief pitcher, that 1 bad pitch can cost you, and it has cost him.
Well, we don't often see Jeremy Affeldt get roughed up. Josh has got a hurt. Got him.
Well, stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live. Highlights, reaction, and analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game.
So Andrew Brown is going to pinch hit. So here's Brown. Brown hitting .250. On deck is Eric Young. We're in the eighth. 7-1 New York. And that pitch is down low.
So I want to talk about Brandon Crawford right now because we've seen him bobble a few balls today. Is it more infield or is it concentration or a combination of both?
You know, yeah, it usually is a combination of both, but you're never going to hear a guy blame the infield, not publicly. But you can have a series where there isn't anything easy.
Well, he's had a homestand where nothing's been easy for him.
That's tapped foul by Brown.
A lot of weird hops where it's just kind of it hasn't been easy for him to get his feet in rhythm with the ground ball. And that's not something you are accustomed to seeing with him. He's got great feet, which is the ultimate compliment you can give a guy. His good feet, you're going to have good hands.
Yeah, I just think the ball's jumping on him a little bit. And Brown is going to go down swinging on the breaking ball.
That's a good hook right there.
Saved the day for the Giants to continue this game into extra innings.
That was the play of the night. Quickly to his feet, dropped the gun, and Sandy Rosario was pumped.
Eric Young is 0 for 2. Couple of walks. He opened up the game with a walk. Bounced out in the fourth, bounced out in the sixth. And this is tapped foul. It's a ball and a strike.
So if you have a job at the ballpark, this would be a good one to have.
I don't think so.
Why?
Doesn't look like they get to eat too much.
Sure, they might take one home.
Down the right field line into the corner and foul.
When I was a kid, that was my dream job. Work at the ice cream store. Yep, whipped cream, nuts, double cherry. Oh yeah. That's a happy girl.
Happy. Mr. Posey's going to pick it up. It's a fair ball. He's going to throw him out. So nice inning for Atco. Top of the order coming up. Yum.
Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
All right, stay tuned for the post-game wrap. That's coming up in just a little bit. And tomorrow morning, while I'm sitting in the Gaslamp District in San Diego, I'm going to talk with Murph and Mac on KNBR 680. 7-1 New York. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Josh Edgen, the new pitcher for the Mets. Take a look at his numbers. 27th time that he's come in. 15 strikeouts against 9 walks.
Facing Andres Torres. Torres hitting for Blanco takes a strike.
And Edgen throws hard. And he's got a good fastball. He'll run up there mid-90s. Slider changeup combination.
And making the running catch is Neuenhuis. Torres lines out. And here's Tanaka. Tanaka picked up a base hit in the 6th. He singled in the left field. It's from the writer's press box, which is right below us. Tanaka fouls this one.
Almost looks like his style of hitting, it looks like he drags that bat through the zone. And it's really built for the opposite way, especially against left-handed pitching. Not much swing there. It's quick.
Oh, 2 to Tanaka. He got him.
Story today for the Mets has been young Zach Wheeler, just making start number 5 in his career. And Keith Hernandez came over between innings and said this is the best he's looked, and he looked fantastic today. Just 2 hits allowed through, or 3 hits allowed rather, 1 run through 7 innings. He struck out 5 Giants, but he showed a nice command of all of his pitches.
Posey takes low. Lester Posey today is 0 for 3. Two outs, nobody on here in the 8th. Just off the plate, 3-0. There's Sandoval. And a strike to Buster Posey. After today, 4 more games before the All-Star break. Posey wraps it foul, 3-2.
All-Star game coming a little bit later than it normally does. This year, the All-Star games that have come, the Giants will have played 94 games. Used to be viewed as the halfway point of the season. We really can't say that anymore.
Posey up the middle. And a base hit. Edgin tried to backhand it. So Buster Posey has a 1-for-4 afternoon, and here's Sandoval.
Giants will have 68 games once the second half starts.
Still a lot of long trips.
Giants have to go to Philadelphia, Tampa, Miami, New York, Washington.
That's low and away. 1 ball and no strike.
Yeah, the Panda people are here. Panda people are always smiling. What happens when you put that Panda hat on?
Quintanilla to Murphy to end the inning. So we will head to the 9th. It remains the Mets 7 and the Giants 1.
Brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
It's a 7-1 lead for the Mets as they go for the sweep here on a Wednesday afternoon.
New pitcher now for the Giants, Javier Lopez. 38th time that he has come in. These are the numbers. 23 strikeouts in 21 innings. He's really had a fantastic first half. 1.71 ERA.
Torres is now in center field. And Belt is going to feel this one in fair territory. And just like that, Murphy is retired, 3 unassisted. And that'll bring up David Wright. You see the former Giant.
Troy Hawkins, and a good one, too.
So here's Wright. Wright has not hurt the Giants in this game. He's 0 for 3 with an intentional walk.
It would be a big thrill for him come Tuesday to be able to start an All-Star game in your home city. All-Star game at Citi Field in New York this year. He and Matt Harvey, they have declared as to who the starting pitcher is going to be. But a lot of people speculate Bruce Bochy's going to pick Matt Harvey,
who, by the way, will not pitch between now and then. Scheduled to pitch, what, on Saturday? But he had a blister in his last start here. But the Mets are saying they're going to give him the okay to pitch in the All-Star game. Hit sharply up the middle in a base hit. So much like Buster Posey and David Wright's likely final at bat, he saves the day with a base hit.
And that extends his little hitting streak of 11 games.
Tell you what, I don't know about you, but I always enjoyed Pittsburgh a lot more with an 11-game hitting streak.
Well, that's where the Mets go next with an off day. Well, you know what they're going to be doing on the off day. It's the one thing you do every time you go to Pittsburgh.
When
Sleep.
you go out and buy an umbrella?
Sleep. Good sleep time. Where do Gamer Babes come from? They come from Gamer Babes.
There's a breaking ball for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ike Davis.
She's happy.
One and 2.
Of course, at that age, you drop a few goldfish on them and a few gummy bears, and they can stay pretty happy. She's cute. So's the baby.
1 and 2. Torres moving over. 2 outs. And that'll bring up. He's had a good series, at least with the long ball. Hit a couple of home runs in the series. Hit one today, a 2-run home run. He's surrounded his home run today with 3 strikeouts. Crawford has this one ricochet. He's going to throw. It's going to be late. So it'll be an error on Crawford. This really has not been able to get into a good rhythm.
Now moving to his left.
Think jump.
Well, and you know, you get enough balls jumping at you, you start to think they're going to jump. And once you start anticipating a bad hop, you're in trouble. But shortstop or any infielder starts doing that, maybe he needs a day off.
Yeah, you need a different infield. Even if the infield has nothing to do with it.
Is there that much difference in infields?
Grounds crew can make the infield any way they want it. Slow, fast. Neuenhuis is 0 for 3. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eight hits for the Mets, 4 for the Giants. And now it's 1 and 2. Wright is at second. Bird is at first. Just a bit high, 2-2.
Pretty good eyeball right there.
Lopez trying to get Neuenhuis here with the 2-2 pitch. And he does. And that'll end the inning. Giants will be coming up, and it'll be Hunter Pence to lead things off. Today at 6, right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. David Feldman and Ahmed Fareed, they'll do the honors. Reaction to this game, NBA signing update, and the update on the A's and the Pirates. 7-1, New York.
New pitcher now for the Mets will be an old Giant. Troy Hawkins returns to San Francisco in a Mets uniform. 39th time that he's come in. He's having a solid season for Terry Collins and the Mets. 33 strikeouts against 9 walks and 38 a third. Still throws hard, low to mid 90s. And he's got a curveball, slider, changeup. And he throws everything.
And he'll face Hunter Pence. Pence on the first pitch. Retired. 1 out. Nothing coming easy right now for Hunter Pence.
No, you're right.
Trying to grind through it.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough when you have a lot of guys struggling at the same time. That's when it's tough. Because when you got 2 guys going and 3 bad, 4 guys going good, you can hide.
Here's Belt. Belt pops the first pitch up. Right over as the wind's going to blow it back. And it blew it back so much, Wright overran it.
Now, they can give David Wright an error on this, but I think that would be a bad call, given the difficulty of the sun and the wind here. You can see the shadow right behind him. He's looking right up into it, and now all of a sudden the wind starts to take it. And they did not rule an error. I think that's the right call.
Belt gets another shot. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1. Belt with a couple of walks today. Bell hits a high drive into left center field. This will carry, and it is off the bottom of the wall. And Belt is going to dig for 3, and that's where he'll end up.
Well, this is what they like to see. Take that fastball, backspin that thing the other way. And on a day where we've seen carry to the outfield, this one really came close to going out of here. Eric Young took the wall on, boy. He really popped the wall. Almost a collision between he and Neuenhuis. I mean, that's a big collision right there. He felt that, I guarantee.
Out to Young. Young will make the catch. Belt will score. It'll be a sacrifice fly. We'll get a bit of an applause. You need base runners more than a sacrifice fly. So here's Crawford. Crawford knocked in the Giants' first run with a single in the 7th. And he swings and lifts this one back and out of play. Crawford gets a piece as it rolls to the backstop. Marco Scudero's on deck. Should Crawford extend the inning, Scudero would taking it back. Outside to Crawford. 1-2. Crawford fights it off.
Oh yeah, you stick around for a long time. There's your reward. I don't know who's more psyched, the son or the dad.
1-2. In the dirt to Crawford. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another sellout. The 210th consecutive sellout. 41,679. Crawford, line drive, base hit. Upton's got the ball up, and Crawford smoked it into left center field, and Scudero will get a chance to hit. So Scudero steps up.
How many scooters could Scudero could scoot scooters? I'd say 2.
Crawford will take off. Hawkins knocks it down, and he will flip it to first, and that'll be the ball game. So what the Giants wanted to do to the Mets when they came into town, well, the Mets did it to them. The Mets sweep the Giants in this 3-game series, and today it was really too much Zach Wheeler. Kid was sensational.
Boy, he really was. He was everything that the Mets had hoped they would get when they got him. But the concern now is for Matt Cain, who was knocked out in the first inning, his shortest outing of his career. So stay tuned. That story will develop.
All right. The final score, the New York Mets 7 and the San Francisco Giants 2. Eastern's Giants postgame live with interviews in the Rapids coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio for an update.